first help us to understand when we talk about the whole notion of spirituality. What is your understanding of spirituality for the layman, and perhaps well, because this is a podcast for the Gen Z generation, which is primarily the audience which falls from 97 till 2012, which means they would be between 15 and 24. There's maybe an argument that there's a huge need for that, or there's a need for that for all of us. But tell us the distinction of when you think about the word spirituality versus religion. People often interchangeably use that. So, in simple terms, what is spirituality, and why, and what are the implications for the Gen Z generation, with which whom you work quite closely with?
Right. That's religion, of course, is very organized and structured, and um, people tend to shy away from even uttering the word religion because it denotes so much that is not. People are not comfortable with the practices and ritualism, and spirituality is a much bandied about word. Um, but it's a very personal experience. What does it mean for a layman? That's tough to say because
Hmm.
I think it's a very personal experience. People experience it differently, people define it differently. There are so many different perspectives to it. For some who are steeped in religious practices, will call themselves spiritual, and
Hmm.
for others, it would mean contemplative practices, maybe meditation. Uh,
Hmm.
for me personally, it's the soul connect.
Hmm.
It's about personal reflections. It's about the word aura, which we commonly understand as this energy body around you. For me, aura stands for awareness, understanding, reflection, and action. So for me, that is what is spirituality. It's about having an attitude of gratitude. It's about your heart beating for your neighbor who's sad and lonely. It's about counting your blessings. It's about being empathic, being compassionate. That is what spirituality is for me. Um, the need for Gen Z, as I said, I work a lot with all age groups, with children to
Hmm.
youth, with educators. I also do corporate workshops,
Hmm.
and um, I find that all of us need to have a spiritual anchor. Um, Actually, I'm reminded of this French priest. I forget his name, who said, uh, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So
Wow. Hmm.
essentially, I think we are all spiritual beings. We just have to discover and find out our spirituality and learn to express it in different ways, find out what works for us. um, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it